Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here to Full Velocity Racing Network, the newly branded virtual racing network, and of course, Full Velocity TV with the merger happening. We have a lot of big things happening here at Full Velocity Racing Network, but that's for another time and another place. Before we get into all of that later on, we need to go over the sponsors here for tonight's race. You're watching the Northwest Xfinity Series presented by Walls Beard Co. And of course, the title sponsor here for this series is themselves here at Walls Beard Co. A Beard Balm. If you have a beard, you need to check them out at wallsbeardco.com. All natural and organic products. So make sure you head on over there to wallsbeardco.com. And of course, on the racing side of their broadcast side of things, we wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for the following partners. Those include Northwest Racing Series, your official one-to-go sponsor here for tonight's events. Walls Beard Co. themselves. Again, make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com, your official starting grid sponsor. RaceOnTexas.com, the official dirt and short track asphalt racing partner of Full Velocity Racing Network. We are a division of RaceOnTexas.com. Hanover Wrecker Service, your official caution sponsor for tonight's events. On the Edge Motorsports, your official Wicked Energy Gum retailer. If you're looking for some of that great gum, you can head on over to ontheedgemotorsports.com. And of course, last but not least, includes Huffman Designs and Racecore. Make sure you head on over and check out all of these great partners on their social media sites and give them a huge shout out for what they do to keep us going here at Full Velocity Racing Network. There are a few others we do not have in the overlays just yet, so make sure you definitely stay tuned. As we will be announcing those here shortly. With this merger, we have a lot of stuff to work out, but those will be currently. We have 28 drivers that have made the trip here to Richmond Raceway. Of course, about 27 of those have actually put in times. Coming up here momentarily, in just about 13 minutes or so, we'll be qualifying here from Richmond Raceway. Again, 28 cars, so just about double what we had. Actually, not quite double, about 10, 11 more than we had last time we were here, which was not last season. This was actually 2 seasons ago that these guys were here. So, it'll be very interesting to see how that does play out. As we'll jump over there to those real quick. 2 years ago when we were here, well, technically it was 2008, 2 seasons ago anyway. Scott Mann was your race winner, and he led all 120 laps. Of course, 125 laps here. This race, we have those 5 extra laps. He had the fastest lap of 21.496. 21.496. Our fastest time here in practice, a 20.695. So we are roughly a second faster here this time around than we were last time we were here. So these cars have gotten a little bit faster. The different aero package, different grip, all of that is playing into it. Of course, you see how cloudy it is here. The clouds out in the sky. It is quite dark out, 78 degree track temperature. Looking at the last race, your race was partly cloudy with 78 degrees. So roughly about the same temperature. So we'll see how this plays out. Of course, wholly different packages that we're running here with dynamic weather, dynamic track. All of that's different. So this will be a completely different race, even though it is roughly with the same settings. So we'll be looking to see how that one affects everything here tonight. Of course, we want to thank all the fans for tuning in here tonight. Unfortunately, I do not have Todd or Phil with me here tonight. We was hoping Todd could make it here, or Phil, but Phil had things to do, and Todd as well. So, unfortunately, neither one of those is going to be making it in the booth with me here tonight. So, of course, here for tonight's race in the booth, I am your host for tonight. Of course, Charles is my name, or Cody, whichever one you know me by. Either way, we are in the booth here running solo tonight as we have just about 11 minutes left to go. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get a driver in here and take a chat with them real quick and see what they think. And I have the perfect driver, so give us just a minute, and we're going to pull down here and see if we can't get them on the radio. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. It's a driving reading is underway, but we have the one and only, the number 24, Walls Beard Co. Sponsored Chevrolet. That is Jeff Stadnow. So, of course, welcome to the booth, Jeff. And, you know, we want to talk to you a little bit here because Scott Mann won this race last year, it was last year, but 2 seasons ago. This track has not been on the schedule since then, so what are you expecting here? I know we're kind of catching you under the bus here because you haven't actually practiced this track.
Yeah, I had a lot going on this week. These are my very first laps at this track probably since April of last year, so a little rusty. Hopefully I figure it out as the race goes along. I'm over-driving a few of the corners right now, particularly 3 and 4, but if I remember that last race, Scott Mann was just bad fast. Brian Barnes was pretty good. But Scott Mann just was a class of the field. Now we've got Jason Berg running with us, and you know he's darn good on these short tracks too. Seth Frazier really excels at these short tracks. We've got a couple of these other new guys that I suspect that you know they run late models in real life, so I suspect that these short tracks are going to be right up their alley too. So I think we're going to have a heck of a battle. You know, as a fan, I'm really interested to watch Jason Berg and Scott Mann. That's kind of like a battle of the Titans here. And if I get a chance to mix it up with those guys, I'll be thrilled just to be up there.
Well, one of the main reasons we wanted to get you down here compared to any of these other drivers out here that may have had some chance to really lay down some laps here and fine-tune that setup in, you know, you're kind of our perfect pick here tonight for this because you haven't run any laps. What are we expecting here? We know we can make it probably about on a 1 stop for fuel, roughly in that area, but how are the tires wearing for you? And what are your thoughts here on caution-wise? Could we see a few, or are we going to run maybe caution-free here tonight?
Oh, it's a short track, you know. Passing's difficult, right? Yeah, you've got to kind of establish position there, and it's going to be hard to pass somebody outside, so you have to establish position, get the outside. Somebody's going to have to give room. And I think we saw at Phoenix where we had some guys get a little impatient and tried to drive it into the corner too hard to kind of get the inside. And it resulted in them pushing out and some wrecks. And I think you're going to see the exact same thing here. Unless for some reason everybody just gets real spread out. But cautions will definitely breed cautions. And I expect something along the lines of what we had in Phoenix.
Yeah, and just to give everyone an insight, because we have all these stats readily available here, this race, last time we ran here, keep in mind, roughly the same temperature, but totally different setups here. It was 120 versus 125 laps this season. We had 0 lead changes, only 2 cautions for 15 laps, and the race actually only took 52 minutes to complete. So if that is indication of what we might see here tonight, well, we could possibly see very few cautions. It really just depends. There was 17 drivers versus 28 here, so a lot of things are different, but a lot of things is the same as well. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But before we let you go here, Jeff, I know you got some sponsors on that car you got to give a shout out to. So who would those be once again here tonight?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. First of all, we got to start with you guys there at the Full Velocity Racing Network. Just such a pleasure to work with you guys. We all love going back and watching these broadcasts. We get just the compliments that we get on the production that you put on. They almost get old. I mean, we get so much of them. So big shout out to you. Love working with you on that. And of course, we got Walls Beard Co. They sponsor the team. They sponsor you guys, some of your broadcasts there, and then sponsor this series. So Walls Beard Co. real huge. Big shout out to Mark Walls there and his family with their new addition, James Walls. And then Big shout out to the drivers committee. You know, I really had a lot going on this week and wasn't able to be real active. And a lot of guys like Steve Stilstead, Ray Fournier, really stepped up. John Ottenbacher, you know, to help Sean out, so everything wasn't on Sean's plate. You know, shout out to Chris White. He had to work late. He can't be here tonight, but should include him in that group. So these guys in the drivers committee really putting in a lot of hard work this year. We've got twice as many drivers and probably 3 times as much work. And then last but not least, just big shout out to everybody on this the Northwest Racing Series. We just got a great crew. We have so much fun. It's a regional series. You know, we're putting 30, 40 cars on the track some nights, and what a blast, and just kind of amazing being the regional thing that we are, that we can even do that. So big shout outs all the way around.
Well, there you have it. Again, that was the 24 of Jeff Stadno. So hopefully Jeff will be talking to you a little bit later tonight in the podium finish, possibly in Victory Lane.
All right, 10-4, Charles.
All right, let's see if we can't get one more driver up here. We'll see if he has radio communications on. We're going to try to get the 90 of Scott Mann. Scott Mann, you got a copy? And we may not get him here. Scott Mann, you got a copy? And unfortunately, it looks like we are not going to be able to talk to our previous winner here, Scott Mann. So we'll have to see if we can't grab somebody else here. But we do have about 4.5 minutes left before we get this thing started. Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. It looks like we got Phil in chat. Phil, I think you need to be in here in the booth with me. For this, we're going to have some great racing going on here tonight. I see Greg Rintz in chat. I believe Greg was going to be helping out here with us too, so we'll see if we can't get him in here soon to get started and helping out as well. But again, qualifying coming up here in just under 4 minutes. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the Northwest Racing League. It's actually series, not league, but whatever, it's the same difference. This is the Northwest Xfinity Series here at Richmond Raceway tonight. Again, I expect to see some great racing. 29 drivers have made the trip here to this track here in Richmond, Virginia. Just to give everyone a heads up here, just to let you know that our aerial coverage for tonight's race will be brought to you by Sames Ford out of Corpus Christi, Texas. If you're in the market for a new or used cars, make sure you head on down there and check them out if you're in the area. Or even remotely close, make sure you check them out. Again, that is Sames Ford out of Corpus Christi, Texas. We'll be going to qualifying here very shortly, just under 3 minutes left to go. I expect to see some great racing. We'll be back here on the mic in just a minute or so. We're going to recap practice, let you know who your top 10 are here in times here in practice, and then we will move on to qualifying. So give us just a minute. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, just about a minute and a half left here in practice before we move on. Just to give you a rundown here, let's go ahead and pull up your running order for tonight's race so far. We got a few names not showing up. We may have to reset the overlays. With just about a minute to go, your top 10 drivers here at the moment are going to be Dan West Jr., Caden Anderson, Jason Berg, Seth Frazier, Jeff Stabnow, Josh Coley, BJ Tidrick, Scott Mann, Case Hinkins, and Brian Barnes. Those are your top 10 fastest drivers here in practice so far. So it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out in the end. Will these top 10 be your top 10 later on tonight once we get to the race? But while we have a moment here, we are going to go ahead and reset these overlays so we can get those names in there of drivers that may have come in after we got started in here. So again, we are going to reset those overlays here for you, and we'll be right back here once again with qualifying. All right, there you have it. Practice is over. It is time to move on to qualifying, as that is coming up next here in the next, 0 seconds. There it is. Green flag is out once again. Let's go ahead and bring up your qualifying drop down and who's going to be one of the first drivers out. It looks like we are going to have... Dell Winterberg going to be one of the first drivers out. We'll go ahead and bring up your qualifying driver bar here for tonight's event. Make sure if you're out there, folks, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And of course, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, whether you're on the Facebook side of things or on the YouTube side of things. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and definitely like the Facebook page as a whole. If you haven't already, you'll be notified of all upcoming events here in the near future, as times are going to start coming in here momentarily. Is Dell Winterberg 20.961. These guys, again, roughly a second faster than they were last time we came here, as Ryan Main's going to take it to the top of the charts with a 20.698. If we can get a 20.4, we will actually be right at a second faster than they were when they were here 2 seasons ago, as Jason Berg currently sitting in second place with a 20.855. BJ Tidrick in the number 72 machine. Leave Gatorade on the car sponsoring tonight's car. That is a 20.965 to put him in fourth place. Travis McKinney right behind him with a 20.970. as he is currently sitting in fifth place. Daniel Masters right behind him in the 03 with a 21.052. Daryl Tidrick currently in ninth place. Bruce Weaver in eighth. Jeff Stabnow currently with a seventh place fastest time, 21.107. Question is, will he be able to progress any more? It's going to be 20.899 and better. He will be in eighth place still, as that lap for some reason did not count. Gary Nichols, however, did. He'll jump to sixth place with a 20.983 on his last lap. So a good run for him. Jade Williams currently in number 25. He's in ninth position with a 21.116. So Jeff Stabnow being scored with a 21.107, but technically ran a 20.899, as Todd Hammond going to go to fourth. Now it was third, as Caden Anderson's going to top him with a 20.765. So the fastest time still belongs to Ryan Maines. At the moment, Seth Frazier coming out onto the track. Brian Barnes sitting in his car, strapped in, but has not put in a time just yet. And he is coming out onto the track. So Seth Frazier and Brian Barnes out on the track here at the moment. We'll see if either one of them can take it to the top of the charts here in qualifying. Again, a great race so far is what we're predicting. question is, will that prediction come true here tonight? As I thought I saw Josh Coley, he is here, but I don't see him on radio communications here tonight. So interesting to not see Josh Coley here, where we can take a word with him. And there I do see him here now, so he has made the trip here. Seth Frazier going to jump to second fastest with a 20.756. No surprise, Brian Barnes going to run up there as well in the number 4 car in 4th place with a 20.797. He's somebody we've got to watch. He very well could beat that time, this time on a second of 2 laps. We'll just have to kind of wait and see if he does, and it's going to be a 802 when it comes in, so not going to beat it. Justin McClure currently back in 7th place with a 20.901 as he's sitting on pit road here at the moment. We do have Dylan Huffines out on the track eating that 00 machine Rockstar energy drink. He's going to take it to 8th place as he smacks the wall. 20.905, second lap won't be valid, but he will put in a 20.905 to put himself in 8th place. James Thurston in the number 2 machine currently sitting in 15th with a 21.056. And we got John Ottenbacher out on the track as he's flying around 26.219. Again, that was his warm-up lap, I do believe, so we'll see what he puts in this time by. Again, they have 2 laps. Looks like Dan West Jr. is going to be out, our fastest driver in practice. And Scott Mann coming out onto the track, our fastest driver, our winner of the last time we were here, and John Ottenbacher with a 20.791. That'll put him in 4th place. Let's head on over to Dan West Jr. in that 55 Nationwide machine. Again, he was the fastest in practice. Will he duplicate that here in qualifying? And will he sit at the top of the pole? Oh, not going to happen. He scrapes the wall, and then he just hammers the inside wall as well. That lap's not going to count, even though it was a 20.845 and a 20.661 for Scott Mann. Your winner last time we were here 2 seasons ago, season 1. As we're on season 3 right now, but season 1 he led 120 of 120 laps. He was your race winner, set the fastest lap of the night. And here he goes to the line, and it is going to be a little bit slower, but he is your pole sitter so far here in this. Is Dan West Jr. back out onto the track as he gets past the commitment cone there to come onto the track. So we'll see. He has 1 lap to get around this track. It's going to have to be a doozy if he wants to get by Scott Mann. While he did it in practice, he was faster. I'm not sure if Scott Mann had run his qualifying setup, so we'll see. Dan West Jr. out on the track, Brett Johnson out on the track as well. That's going to be a first little warm-up lap right there. This is his second lap. His first one, of course, hit the wall before he was able to complete the lap, so he has right there 20.927. That lap's still not wanting to count for some reason, as it is not being scored as his best lap, just his last lap. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but we're also going to go over to, well, if we can find him. There he is, Sean Brightsman sitting at the end of pit road. He has not come out yet, but Brett Johnson with a 21.012. He's currently sitting in 17th position. As Sean Brightsman going to be coming out onto the track once again. Brett Johnson now runs a 20.802. He'll jump to 8th place here in qualifying. Sean Brightsman trying to put in the best lap he can. Will he be up there with his teammate, John Ottenbacher? Jeff Stabnow, his other teammate, currently somewhere up here. We'll find him. So I'm pretty sure he has qualified. So we just can't see his name here. They all kind of run together at some point when you get going here. But Jeff Stabnow, definitely someone to look out for here. There he is, back in 20th. So he has fallen back just a little bit. But Sean Brightsman into 10th place with a 20.871. Just barely squeaking into the top 10 times here. A minute 40 left on the clock. Dan West Jr. still out there running a few laps, but his time is done, and so is Sean Brightsman, as he just puts in a 21.128. That's not going to be any faster. So 20.871 for Sean Brightsman. That's going to do it for the drivers out on the track at the moment. Right now, Josh Coley, Frank Harris, Stephen Paulson, Jesse Gray, and Brian Lambert not coming out onto the track with just about a minute left to go here. The question is, will they come out and qualify? All right, 28 seconds left on the clock. I don't foresee anybody else coming out onto the track here at this point. So we'll go ahead and get rid of qualifying. And just to also answer that question about the dirt, yes, we do have lots of dirt coming onto the channel as well. Actually, this Wednesday and Thursday, I personally will have some dirt on the channel as well. And then of course we do have Todd, Phil, and a ton others here that will be putting in some broadcasts as well. So a lot of action going on here on the channel and on the Facebook page. But it looks like it is time to get this race started here. As we're going to jump down with these drivers here and see if we can't get things started for tonight's race. There you see it right there, everyone getting ready to go. As it's a short track, but we still got to go through it quick here. Let's gear it up. Your Walls Beard Co. starting grid on row 1 is going to be the 90 of Scott Mann and the 13 of Ryan Maines. Row 2 is going to be the 20 of Case Hinkins and the 32 of Seth Frazier. Row 3 is going to be the 1 of Caden Anderson and the 89 of John Ottenbacher. Row 4 is going to be the 4 of Brian Barnes and the 7 of Brett Johnson. Row 5 is going to be the 21 of Jason Berg and the 46 of Sean Brightsman. Row 6 is going to be the 63 of Tom Hammond and the 10 of Justin McClure. Row 7 is going to be the 00 of Dylan Huffines and the 92 of Casey Tillman. Row 8 is going to be the 73 of Dell Winterberg and the 72 of BJ Tidrick. Row 9 is going to be the 88 of Travis McKinney and the 8 of Gary Nichols. Row 10 is going to be the 03 of Daniel Masters and the 2 of James Thurston. Row 11 is going to be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow and the 25 of Jade Williams. Row 12 is going to be the 40 of Bruce Weaver and the 45 of Daryl Tidrick. Row 13 is going to be the 33 of Josh Coley and the 58 of Stephen Paulson. Your first two drivers not taking times here in qualifying. Row 14 is going to be the 08 of Jesse Gray and the 52 of Brian Lambert. Row 15 is going to be the 55 of Dan West Jr. and the 11 of Frank Harris. And nobody on row 16. That will do it here for your Walls of Beard Co. starting grid. 30 drivers starting tonight's race. As it's going to be Scott Mann out front, followed by Ryan Maines on his outside. Pace car will be diving off next time by to get this race started. 125 laps is what we have on the books. So it could be very interesting, should be very interesting. Will Scott Mann come down and double down here for the second time that we've been to this track? Again, season 1, he was your race winner when we were here, which was such a long time ago. However, Seth Frazier has been hot this season, already winning 2 races, He won last week at Phoenix. Will he double down and win here at Richmond as well? Well, we're about to find out. Pace car dives off. You are about to get it right about there. Green flag is in the air for the Northwest Xfinity Series presented by Walls Beer Co. here on Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing and a division of RaceOnTexas.com. We are racing Scottman out front here at the moment. He has got the 20 of Case Hinkins hot on his heels. Let's go a little further back here and see this group battling going back here. This is Ryan Maines, Brian Barnes side by side with Seth Ranger in the 32. They're going to stay that way, at least on the backstretch. As looks like Jason Bergen, the 21, is going to get a little bit loose, but he will keep it going there as he is going to get out of 32 here for the moment. Again, keeping an eye on the cautions from last season. We had a time we were here 2 seasons ago, we had 2 cautions for 15 laps. Will we replicate or duplicate, whatever you want to call that here tonight? Oh, time will tell as we're on lap number 3. They are showing anyway. They're being very cautious out there. I don't see too many people pressing too many issues early on in this race. Brian Barnes, though, stuck on the high side here at the moment, trying to get back down there. He doesn't want to get railroaded, but he does keep the 21 and the 32 behind him of Jason Berg and Seth Frazier. So a good job for him. We go a little further back here to Dale Winneberg, I believe that is, and Travis McKinney. Those two battling side by side. You go a little further back here between the 55 and the 72. They're battling as well, and there is someone we expect to see move through this field just a little bit here tonight. I technically expect him to move quite a bit through the field. That is the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. So hopefully he will do so here tonight. Again, starting deep in this field. He has definitely got his work cut out for him if he wants to fight his way through this field here tonight. Tough field. 17 started 2 seasons ago. 30 started here tonight, so just about double what we had starting 2 seasons ago. You see right there just how much it's grown, but some things never change, and that is that the 90 of Scott Mann and that number 90 Coca-Cola machine out front here as he's going to go and lead his 7th lap to start lap number 8 of 125, and at the rate they're going, this really could come down to fuel and tire strategy. As we know, they can roughly make it about 55 to 57 laps on fuel. Tires, on the other hand, may be a totally different ball game. As we want to take a look here real quick, let's go to the aerial cam. Of course, it's brought to you by Sames Ford. And just take a look here. Look how you see it's kind of bright right here, especially right in here. You see how bright it is? Instant shadow coming through the corner here. Shadow, 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 sun again as you come to the flag stand. So 3 and 4, quite a bit shadow, and 1 and 2, not necessarily super bright either. There's 1 and 2 right there. It's actually pretty dim, so there's a very small section of this track that it actually has some sun on it right now. As this track 77 degrees right there. That's the little bit of the sun you get. That's probably about 2-3 car lengths wide at the most. So for the most part, this track is going to stay fairly cool here tonight. I don't see too much in the way of heat being laid into this track. 70s, maybe low 80s if we get lucky here. We'll see. Jason Berg in the 21, currently sitting in 5th position. Let's bring that up real fast. Started 9th, so he is working his way through this field, trying to catch that KSP number 13 of Ryan Maines, who started on outside pole, but at the moment has fallen back to 4th place. So he's lost 2 spots since the start of the race, but still hanging in there with a solid finish here at the moment. Caden Anderson in the 1 machine, currently sitting in 3rd place. And for the most part, I would say Scott Mann has pulled away. He hadn't pulled away a huge lead, but he has pulled away just a little bit over the rest of his field. Again, when we talk about that, we talk about that for a very distinct reason. If you go back to season 1, he had a 3 1.5 second lead over second place, and only 6 drivers were on the lead lap when he was done with them. So Scott Mann having his way with the field 2 seasons ago. Will he do it again here tonight? Well, again, time will tell. As while we have a moment here, let's go to Case Hinkins in that 20. Let's go on board with him for a minute as we step away from the mic here for just a moment. Let's go on board with Case Hinkins and see what it's like for him trying to run down Scott Mann. All right, as we went on aboard with the 20 of Case Hinkins, just to see kind of how he was running down the 90. I don't think he was running him down. I think the 90 of Scott Mann was actually pulling away. That lead is currently .583. Let's pull your top 3 up here so you can see that gap. Right now, .649. So we'll keep a kind of a live, I usually a live gap meter on there, whatever you want to call it. 0.5, now 0.4, so looks like it, and the caution is going to come out, and it's going to be for Jason Berg in the 21. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened. Jason Berg, you see him right there in the 21, racing with 13 of Ryan Maines, and a disaster striking here for the 21. As he had a little bit of help there, I think, from the 13 of Ryan Maines. He gets it to a stop. No major harm done. Let's go back and take one more look at this here. As we'll go to the aerial cam here for the night. You see the 21 down on the bottom, right on the yellow line. He gets a run there, gets by. A little rubbing there is going on. Nothing, ill in the will there. Just some hard racing. Let's see what happens right here as he gets a little bit of a bump, and then he gets the complete spin as he goes around. He will stay on the lead lap, though. So let's see if we can't get a quick word in here with Jason Berg. He is on pit road here at the moment, so we'll let him go down pit road and get his service done. And once he gets off pit road, we will officially see if we can't get a word in with him. But going around here at the hands of the 13 of Ryan Maines as he gets into his back bumper, and around he goes. Jason Berg still on the lead lap, though, so no major damage done that he may not be able to recover from. But it looks like a lot of 2-tire stops here in fuel, as we're not quite at the halfway point yet to where the fuel window is. But it does look like Jason Berg is going to pull off pit road here, and there he's done. Let's see if we can't pull him in here real quick and get a quick word in with him here as we go on board with him here under caution. Jason Berg, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, we got you here, and it looks like from our point of view, you got a little help there from the 13 of Ryan Maines going around. But how is the car handling? And give us your perspective there of just what happened.
I was trying to pass him clean and made 3 or 4 attempts on passing him clean, and he just acted like I wasn't even there and drove me down to the apron. And then I finally did get by him, and he just sent me around. So it'll get interesting if I get back to him.
Well, definitely, that's kind of what we saw from here in our perspective there, is it just didn't lift, got to your back bumper, and just sailed you around there. So hopefully you'll be able to get back a little further to the front. Still in 11th place, so not too far back. And let's hopefully we'll see you at least in the podium, maybe sitting in victory lane tonight.
Yeah, hopefully. One thing's for sure, though, I race how I get raced. So it'll get interesting, I'll just say that.
Well, that is the rule of racing. Race how you want to be raced. So we'll see how it goes, and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. It is just about ready. It looks like the pace lights are off, so we're going to go off aboard with him. Go back to the front as the green flag is set to come back out once again. Green flag is in the air here once again at Richmond Raceway as we're watching the Northwest Xfinity Series presented by Walls Beard Co. Here on Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing, a division of RaceOnTexas.com. Again, things gonna get interesting there as we got a caution and a huge pile up back here. Let's go back and take a quick look and see what happens as the caution comes out once again. Caution coming out here on the restarts. We have tied the amount of cautions here for the first time we came here in Season 1. Let's see exactly what happens around here as everyone's still bunched up nice and tight, and there goes the 88 into the inside wall, but I think this started well above these guys back here as we'll see exactly what happened anyway. We're going to have to go back and look at this again, I think, to figure out exactly what did happen. Jeff Stabnow back in the back of this field, and something just wasn't quite right. He's going to the back of the field here. So I don't think he was technically involved in this, but a ton of cars that were involved in it. Let's go to a different camera here, see if we can figure out what happened to cause all of this, as it looked like it started further back, but I actually think it started about mid-pack. That's where we're looking anyway to see exactly what indeed did happen. And there you see a bunch of piling up going here. Let's go back and check in here. We're going to go back just a bit more here and see if we can figure out here. Let's go back to our spotter cam here. This time we're looking somewhere around the 21 of Jason Berg. I don't think he was involved in it, but I do, however, think this all was up there just in front of him. You got the 89 and the 13 racing side by side, and oh, right there, I believe that's the 65 that gets into the outside wall, and that is what starts this pile up back in the back of the field. And no, it's the 63, my bad. So we'll go to him. That is the 63 of Tom Hammond. Scrapes the outside wall and comes back, and that is what set the chain of events into action here. So Tom Hammond in the 63 scraping the outside wall, and then chaos ensues behind them as we go back to the front. Case Hinkins is your race leader here at the moment. Alright, again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here. Make sure if you are new, hit the subscribe button and, of course, that follow button. And, of course, share it out there and get it to all your friends. And make sure you hit that like button if you like the racing here tonight. We've had 2 cautions so far. And, of course, all cautions tonight are presented by Hanover Wrecker Service. Let's pull up, you see right there, 2 cautions for 8 laps. So we'll have to see. Last time it was 2 cautions for 15 laps. So I believe there was some issues with the cautions last season when they ran this, or season 1 when they ran this, I should say. That caused a few extra laps to be under caution. But we're here on lap 29. 125, 97 laps ago, making 96 when they get to the line. Case Hinkins out front in the number 20 machine. No sponsors on the car here tonight. He is running a solid black car. We'll see, if he puts in a victory lane, maybe he'll pick up a sponsor. We'll find out as he is about to get things started. Right beside him is going to be the 32 of Seth Frazier. We'll see green flag is back in the air as we are underway. Everybody currently that started is on the track. We currently have 23 drivers on the lead lap. Dale Windenberg, Jeff Stabenow, and caution is out once again for a huge pileup back here. Let's go back and take another look. The 11 Frank Harris going to be involved. So let's go back and take a look. Caution number 3 coming out very quickly here. Let's go to the spotter cam here, watching the 11 of Frank Harris. I'm not sure what exactly happened. That's what we're about to find out, though. Ooh, right there, the 73 and the 58 get together. That brings out the caution, the 11, just trying to avoid it. So technically not involved, but the 58 and the 73 do get tangled up. Caution number 3 is out on the track. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break, and we will be right back here as we're on lap number 32 under caution for the 3rd time tonight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, just so everyone knows, we are going to go ahead and go to our Crank It Up cam, and we're going to go silent on the mic here. When they take the green flag, we will crank these engines up here and go Crank It Up style here on a Full Velocity Racing Network. Here's tonight. We know you love the Crank It Up. These engines are about to get loud and proud. You're going to hear every horsepower they're producing. Here is, once again, we go Crank It Up style here on Full Velocity Racing Network for the first time here tonight. Caution coming out once again. We got them stacked up back here. Let's go back and take one more look, see what happened here, folks. Is the caution coming out once again here. Let's go to the aerial cam here and see what happened. This is the third caution on a restart here tonight, as something is just not going right for these guys here in the back of the field. As we're seeing cautions, breeding cautions, and it's going to be the 8 that is up here involved in it. So let's go back and take one more look. Again, you're watching the 8 right there in the middle of the screen or so of Gary Nichols. So let's see what happened to him here tonight. And ooh, the 55 slides up just a little bit, gets a piece of him, and then it's on from there as everybody trying to avoid him. Dell Winterberg, nowhere to go, just taps him just a little bit. Again, the 55 of Dan West Jr. Sliding up the track just a little bit, nowhere to go. Into Gary Nichols as we are under caution once again here. Let's pull it off. That is our 4th caution for 16 laps here tonight. We are going to go ahead and step away to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
This is a demonstration for the built-in water temperature sensor of W5 CPU water block. There is a water temperature sensor built inside W5 to detect the temperature of the coolant that runs through W5. Here, we're using thermal mode and time-lapse effect to show the temperature change of the system. You can easily see the real-time temperature change on the software screen. W5 is also made with central inlet design, which contributes to higher coolant flow that helps faster heat dispatching to achieve a lower coolant temperature, of which you can see on the software thanks to the water temperature sensor. While W5 shows you the temperature of the coolant that runs through your CPU water block, you can also throw in a Pacific TF1 indicator to monitor the temperature and coolant flow of your whole system.
Alright, the lights are off on the pace car. We go down the backstretch. They're getting lined up to do this one more time. We'll see. We've had 4 cautions. 3 of those 4 cautions coming out on a restart. Will we be able to get the restart going here this time? It's going to be Case Hinkins that gets to the loud pedal. There it is. Green flag is back in the air. The question is, will we survive the restart here? As 3 out of the 4 so far not working out the way they wanted. As I'm not sure who that was back there. I believe it was John Ottenbacher. Almost scraped the wall, but he keeps it going with no damage done to the car. And we got some cars going around. It's going to be Dell Winterberg. Caution is out 2 laps after the restart. As we have the 73 going around. Let's go back and take a look. See what happened here to the 73 of Dell Winterberg. Is the caution out once again. And we'll see. Indeed, right there comes down on top of the 40. That's what it looks like here from our point of view of Bruce Weaver, and that will bring out the caution one more time. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, getting some insight for some drivers out there on the track while we were under caution. Always good to get what these drivers are thinking out there on the track. And obviously some tempers a little flared here tonight with a possible good reason. We'll see. We don't make that call, but they may have a valid reason for it. We'll see. Will we survive the restart here? As 4 of the 5 cautions have come within the first lap or 2 of the restart. And we are going to see if that happens one more time. They're on the backstretch here at the moment. So we're just going to have to kind of play it out by ear. There's lap number 1 since the restart has happened. We're watching this, and it looks like we're going to have Steven Paulson coming down pit road. He may come down to get fuel to be good for the remainder of this race. He's on the lead lap right now. Depending on how long he is on pit road, I do not see him staying on the lead lap. We'll just have to keep seeing there. Right there, they're going to pass him. So Steven Paulson will go a lap down as he is currently being scored in 29th position. Brian Barnes back there trying to battle. Well, let's go to Jason Berg, who is driving his way back through this field right now. He's up to 8th place. He's just a few spots away from catching the 13 of Ryan Maines. And again, we talked to him earlier about the incident on the track where the 13 of Ryan Maines all but basically drove through his back bumper. Of course, not sitting well with Jason Bergeson. Most people, it wouldn't sit well with him at all. Anyone that's passionate about the sport is not going to take it lightly. You know, a little bit of heat under the collar, you might say, for the 21 of Jason Berg. Just goes to show how passionate he is about the craft, whether it be real life or sim racing. It's all the same. That line dividing the two is very, very thin right now. Back behind him, of course, we got 00 scraping the wall. That is Dylan Huffine who scrapes the wall. That allows the 21 to Jason Bird to get behind him, or in front of him, sorry. But we were just going back here to look at this one. John Ottenbacher, as we'll see, they're starting to really mix it up back here. And the 4 looks to have a little bit of damage, as that's going to allow John Ottenbacher to get by him. And we'll see right here. This is what we're keeping an eye, a very, very close eye on. Jason Berg is now 2 spots behind Ryan Maines in 13th here at the moment. All that's standing in between him at the moment is Dan West Jr., who we want to talk a little bit about him here for a minute. It's in that 55 machine. He was the fastest in practice. Here he is sitting in 6th place, started in 29th as the caution comes out once again. Let's go back and see if we can't take a look, and I believe possibly, no? I'm not entirely sure who that caution was for. Let's just go back and see if we can take a look. I don't think it was a 4. There right there, the 73 of Dell Winterberg being involved in yet another caution. Let's go back and take another look here. Again, that is the 73 of Dell Winterberg. What happened to him here tonight? Again, just a second to go see. Looks like maybe he drove it a little hot. We're about to find out. As you have the 03 coming up behind him. And maybe a little bit of netcode. There was no contact that we saw. Netcode playing a factor here tonight between the 03 of Daniel Masters and the 73 of Dell Winterberg. From our point of view here, we'll go back and take one more look at this here. Again, we'll go to the aerial cam just to give a better picture of this. You're watching Dell Winterberg right there in the 03. I do not see any contact. There you see a little bit of contact made. The 03 gets to his back bumper and gets him around. So from the aerial view here tonight, we do see a little bit of contact between the two. As we go back to the front, it's Brian Lambert that is out front leading this race at the moment, as we had some come down, some stay out. this could get very interesting here for tonight's races. We still have 67 laps to go before this race is over. Well, again, we have a moment here, a little break in the action. We want to let everyone know that's out there watching. Make sure here in the next couple of days, week at the most, make sure you're checking the Full Velocity Racing Network Facebook page, as we are going to be posting some information on there about stuff that's going to be happening. We have a brand new website in the works right now, fully state-of-the-art, of course. Brand new website coming into play here that we will be utilizing to its full extent. Not to release any cats out of the bags just yet, but anyone that is familiar with RaceOnTexas.com, Dirt on Dirt, Speed Shift TV, any of these major streamers and broadcasters on the dirt side of things, asphalt side of things, that will just give you a bit of a hint as to what's coming here for Full Velocity Racing Network. Of course, not everything will be just like theirs, but we do have a lot of stuff in the works here coming in the next couple of days to a week, as we are under caution once again here. We have 60 laps completed. We're on lap number 61. We are just about at the halfway point as the lights are off once again. And we're going to try to stack them up and try this one more time. Alright, pace car is diving off here for hopefully the last time tonight. Green flag is back in the air. You're watching the Northwest Xfinity Series presented by Walls Beard Co. The lights are flashing in the grandstands. These people are taking some pictures here tonight. You're watching all of the racing action live here on Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing, a division of RaceOnTexas.com. And we're keeping a close eye on there as we got some cars slowing down here. And that is going to be the 11 slow on the track. He's going to take to the back of the field. No caution will come out with something not handling right or not working right on that 11 machine. But we will stay green here on lap number 63 as we go back to the front. Jeff Stabnow did not come down that last stop. He's sitting in second place. Neither did Brian Lambert. Dan West Jr., however, did come down as he is currently sitting in third place with about, I'd say about 10 lap fresher tires. Here, Ryan Maines currently sitting in ninth. Dylan Huffine sitting in 10th. Dan West Jr. again in fifth place right now. Caden Anderson does get by Jason Berg, puts him in fourth. Jason Berg, of course, in fourth. Caden Anderson in third place. This is starting to be a little bit of a battle going on back here. You got Case Higgins in the 20 back in sixth place. He really, really wants to get back to the front. That's where he's been all race long. So we got somebody into the outside wall there just a little bit. That's Sean Breitzman. Just slightly scrapes the wall, but he keeps it going. I don't think he even did any damage there, if he even actually hit the wall at all. But he does have quite a bit of damage. Just short track racing at its finest here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we are at Richmond Raceway here on iRacing, and they are starting to slice and dice. They're getting a little more aggressive here as we're past halfway points. And this is probably one of the longest green flag runs we've had since a restart anyway. We've had a pretty good size green flag run, but it seems like the cautions have breeded cautions here tonight. Every time we get one, we don't get too far into the green flag run again before we get another one, but that's not the case here. It's on this one anyway. as we have been green for quite some time. Jeff Stabnow out front as he just got by Caden Anderson. He's led one lap, and now he is going to go and lead lap number 2 when he gets to the line. So Jeff Stabnow, your race leader, and there goes the 52 going around. Caution is out. Let's go to the 52 and see what happened. Wrong. That's the 92. Let's go to the 52 of Brian Lambert and go back and take a look, see what happened. What got the 52 around? As you see him right there battling here. Let's go to our spotter cam, see if we can get a better picture. Ooh, and Case Hinkins gets to his back bumper and gets him a little bit around, and there he goes, but he saves it from getting into the wall. So good save there by Brian Lambert to not get in to the wall, and a good job by everybody else to avoid him as well. With the 20 of Case Hinkins getting him there just a little bit, as Jason Berg having to wait on the pace car to get by so he can take his position on the track here as we are under caution once again. We're going to step away to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Still your race leader, followed by Tommy Fain, Bobby Miller, Gary Williams, and Shelby Williams. Gary Williams, Diamonds, turn number 3. Trying to get a run on the 1B. Bobby Miller didn't have quite enough for that time. Meanwhile, back up front, your leader still the 61 of Aaron Corley.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as it looks like we are set to get the green flag one more time. Here, as we'll go ahead and bring your main bar back on the line here. And green flag back in the air. We are racing here with Northwest Xfinity Series, presented by Rolls Beard. Go on for Velocity Racing and Network, your source for esports racing, a division of RaceOnTexas.com. Well, let's see here, as it looks like Jason Berg tried to run down Jeff Stabnow for the lead. And we'll see if he can get up there and get it from him is the question. Let's go a little further back here. At this little group of cars back here, Anderson, West, Hankins, all battling right there in this mix. Dylan Huffines, Brian Barnes, Scott Mann. It looks like Ryan Main's in the mix as well. The number 13 machine, Seth Frazier, in there as well. All these guys really jockeying for position. Meanwhile, your front two starting to pull away from this field. As around goes the 13 into the outside wall and hard contact. And he's going to collect a few more cars with him. Josh Cully not being able to avoid this one. Scott Mann involved in it as well. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to the 13. As he has a little bit of help here, I do believe. Here is the aerial cam. It looks like the 00 may have get to his back bumper. And right there, shot to the back bumper, punts him out of the way. 13 hits the outside wall. The 72 gets him. And the 63 barely nicks him. Unfortunately, the 33 getting involved in it as well. The 13 of Ryan Maines getting involved in that one, and he takes a brutal beating out on the track right now, as he is going to have severe damage. He will have to use a fast repair if he hasn't already used it. As we go back to the front, Jeff Stabnow still leading the race. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here live on the mic, as we want to thank everybody for tuning in here. A few cautions here. This is uncharacteristic of this league here, but then again, it is short track racing. 8 cautions for 37 laps. We've completed 81. We have 44 laps to go, making 43 now as they cross the line. But again, very uncharacteristic. Still saying 40 to go. So 44, 81 laps completed. But again, very uncharacteristic of this league to have this many cautions. The question is, can Jeff Stabnow in that 24 machine hold off this charging field? 36 laps on his tires, 24 for the next 3 cars behind him. Technically about 10 cars behind him. As the green flag comes back out, we are racing once again. Let's get back to our main camera. cameras flashing here in the grandstands. Here's Jeff Stabenow leading this race. And he's got a ton of cars behind him that are trying to make something happen here tonight. Jeff Stabenow, though, for someone who didn't have much practice, he's really just going to hang on for a few laps. At the rate we're going, we hate saying it, but at the rate we are going, all he really needs to do is be able to hold off this field for, a stint of about 10 to 12 laps. If he can do so, there's a chance of another caution coming out, as we have been plagued with him here tonight, and he's got a sizable lead of 0.3 at the moment. And meanwhile, Jason Berg is under fire from Caden Anderson and Case Hinkins. So Jeff Stabenow, his best defense right now is the fact that Jason Berg is having to run on the defense as well, trying to fend off Caden Anderson and Case Hinkins. Dan West Jr., who was fastest in practice again, he's sitting right there in 5th place. Seth Frazier behind him, and the 00 of Dylan Huffines sitting behind him as well. So we'll see if he can hold them off here. Jason Berg not really having to deal with those cars behind him too much, as he's staying just enough ahead of them to not really make him anything. But Caden Anderson right now, he's somebody you're going to have to look out for. He's giving Berg a run for his money, as we're going to go a little deeper in this field here for a minute. We are going to go ahead and pull up your top 5, so we can keep an eye on those top 5 in the gaps between them as we go further into this field. Scott Mann, your last winner here. Last time we here, currently in 13th position. All out of the 29 drivers, 26 are on the lead lap here at the moment, as we see some shakeup going on. Caution is out, and it's a huge pile up back here. The 72, the 33 involved. Let's go back and see what happened here. And one more time, we'll go to the crash cam here for the replay. And not sure the 72 is what we're looking at, a little up in the front of your screen. Hopefully he doesn't go off the screen. We'll have to look. That is TJ. Right there. The 72 and the 40 get together. The 24 as well. Let's go back and take another look at that. Let's go to the aerial cam here for tonight. And we'll see. You're watching the 52 and the 72 of BJ Tidrick and Brian Lambert. As you'll see, not the 52, the 72 and the 40. The 52 had nothing to do with this. My apologies to Brian Lambert right here. Oh, he does slide up. Actually, the 52 did get into the 72, but after the 72 had got into the 40. But from that view, it looked like a little bit of net code going on as well. So I don't think the 72 actually touched the 40 during all of that, as he was a little ways off him, so I don't think they actually made contact. At least it didn't look like it from our point of view. But we are under caution again here for the nighttime. 39 laps, going to be 40 at the line that we have been under caution. Currently 36 laps left to go here in this race. The question is, are we out of the woods for the cautions? I am going to venture to say no. I do not think we are out of the woods just yet. So this could get interesting to see how many more we have, and will it come down to a green-white checkered shootout, as Jason Berg, after some adversity here earlier in this race, having to fight his way back to the front, he is your race leader. That adversity coming from the 13 of Ryan Maines. He's currently sitting in 6th place. So your top 5 as they run are going to be Jason Berg, Case Hinkins, Seth Frazier, Casey Tillman, and Jesse Gray. Ryan Maines in the 13 machine, just outside the top 5 right now. And when they stack them up, that is going to put these guys really close together. We'll see how it goes. Of course, for anyone that's just tuning in, you're a little late, but better late than never. You're watching the Northwest Xfinity Series presented by Walls Beard Co. here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing, a division of RaceOnTexas.com. Again, We have a lot of stuff in the works. A brand new website coming that we are going to utilize to its full potential here, as we are a streaming service. Oh, well, that may get a few people on the bandwagon about what's going to be going on, but we will be releasing those details here in the coming days to a week, depending on when we officially wrap up all the work on that website. So make sure you stay tuned to the Facebook page for all of that. But we are under caution here once again. The lights are off this time, so we will go racing this next time by. Alright, hopefully everybody's still enjoying the race here tonight, as it looks like Josh Coley is going to be out of the race here tonight. Dale Winterberg out of the race. Bruce Weaver out of the race. Everyone else looks to be on the track here at the moment. Jason Berg leading them to the green flag as we have it out one more time. We'll see how this one plays out. Pretty good size lead there for them. Let's go back a little bit further here. Look at this group going on. Casey Tillman, John Ottenbacher, Ryan Maines, Jeff Stabnow involved. Don't forget about Scott Mann, who's in this group as well. So they're 3 wide. Jeff Stabnow is in the middle of this group between Caden Anderson, and looks like somebody's going to be going around. Caution is out, and that is going to be John Ottenbacher. That gets the boot here. It looks like is the boot, whatever he got. He got something. Let's go back and take a look as the caution is out once again. Let's go to the spotter cam, see if we can figure out what happened here. As, let's go to a different cam here. The 13 of Ryan Maines rounds him just a little bit, and Ryan Maines getting squirrely and just takes the nose right off the 89. Let's go back and take one more look here if we can. We'll go to Ryan Maines. Let's actually go on board with him real fast. Let's go to the helmet cam. You see right here, he's side by side with the 89 of John Ottenbacher. And right in here is where he gets a little squirrely, it looks like. Let's see. I believe it's in here. Might have already happened. It has indeed. It's already happened, so can't really get a good point of view there from on board. But either way, the 13 of Ryan Maines and the 89 of John Ottenbacher making contact there, and that will bring out the 10th caution of the night for 44 laps, 29 laps to go. We're going to step away to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Alright, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 25 laps to go when we get to the line. As the things are starting to heat up for sure. Track only 72 degrees, but I think some tempers out here may be a little bit hotter than that track temp or the air temp here tonight. So this could get interesting to see how it all plays out here in these closing laps. As quickly on to the gas pedal is going to be the 21 of Jason Berg, as he gets a huge jump there. Go ahead and bring your main bar back up here for the Northwest Xfinity Series on Full Velocity Racing Network, as it's going to be a nice little battle back here. Contact still being made between a lot of people, as we have anywhere from Frazier front, actually other than your leader, they are 2 wide, 4 deep. Jeff Stabnow is the first one back here that isn't there in the 00, going to scrape the wall, and that's going to allow, looks like Rand Maines to get by him in the 13, and he is actually going to get back by him. That is Dylan Huffines that scrapes the wall, but able to somehow recover from it and not lose any position. So very good job here for him. More contact being made back here. That is going to be Scott Mann, and I believe the 08 it is of Jesse Gray. Is there 4 wide coming through the tri-oval, or whatever you want to really tri-oval, the front stretch? I don't know how they made it work, but they did. They were 4 wide coming down the front stretch. Somehow make it work, as it's going to be Scott Mann that is trying to get to the front and win this thing here, and he can double down from winning it 2 seasons ago, the last time they were here. And we'll see if this is last caution this time by for your leader. Jason Berg will be 20 laps to go. So he's got a sizable .883 second lead over Case Hinkins. And there it is right there. 20 laps to go is all that remains here in your race tonight. And I'm not going to say we're out of the woods of a caution yet. We still could. We've seen quite a few, and now there it is right there. Going to be the 03 involved in this one, and 2 other cars. So we'll see who is it going to be involved in the caution this time. Take a look here and see as we go to the spotter cam. I've got a bird's eye view here of the 03 and the 11 down, and I believe that's the 45 as well. It is indeed. And what happened? Right there, contact the 11, gets the 03, the 45, nowhere to go. So the 03 of Daniel Masters getting collected by Frank Harris in the 11 and the 45. Again, just having nowhere to go, but right into the door panel of, that is Daryl Tidrick. Just having nowhere to go, that gets involved in it. Caution is out. No surprise, I don't think we'll see anybody come down. These guys have about 50 to 51 laps onto their tires here for the front 3. Everyone else around 18, 38, roughly in the 20 range behind that. So tires possibly going to be an issue here. Jason Berg, though, a master at working on these tires. He is so good at making them work when no one else can. We'll just have to kind of wait and see if he can hold off this field with a little bit fresher tires. Something tells me he probably has a pretty good shot of it. He's just that good on older tires that doesn't matter what you do with him. He can come out with those tires and make something happen here tonight. But again, if you're here with us tonight, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and like the Facebook page. And of course, make sure you like the race itself, and definitely like on the YouTube side of things as well. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let us know you like the racing here tonight, even though it has been plagued with a few cautions. This is definitely not the norm here for the Northwest Xfinity Series. We have about 17 to go. Going to be about 15 to go when we get the green flag once again. So we'll be waiting to see how it goes. And we'll be right back on the mic when those lights go off. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as it looks like the pace car is about ready to dive off. Going to be 14 laps to go when we get the green flag. And I can assure you some of these guys are ready for this race to get over. They are ready to call it a night. This has been a torture for a lot of these drivers here, having this many cautions. It really drags it out. Plus, they do start about 45 minutes earlier on Monday night than they do on Thursday. So definitely not too bad on these. Jeff Stab now going around. The 55 goes around. Caution is out once again. Let's go back, and we have chaos back here in the back once again. And it looks like it all started back here with Jeff Stab now. I'm not sure if he got help or if he just went around on his own. Jeff Stab now, he actually manages to save it, so for the most part, let's go to the 55 of Dan West Jr. and go back to the replay camera, see exactly what happened. Oh, there you go, the 8 gets up into the 24, and then from there, more contact, the 72, the 63, the 52, the 13 involved, the 55, the 11, the 45, a ton of people involved in this. Let's go back and take one more look at this if we can. Here, let's go to the aerial coverage. Watching the 8 real fast. You'll see the 8 slide up into the 24, but he manages to save it right there. He slides up. Jeff Stab now somehow saves it, and I don't know if that was a saving grace or not. He is going to get damaged, but he avoids the major carnage back here in the back as the 55 goes around, and it is just on from there. Everybody piling in behind him. So right now, Jason Berg still your race leader, as we are on caution number 12 here for 55 laps. So again, this was a 125 lap race, so you do the math on there. 55 make it 56 laps under caution. We'll just stay with 55 to round it off. So a huge chunk of this race has been under caution behind the pace car here tonight. So definitely not what these guys wanted. But it looks like we may be setting up here for a last little stint. Again, for anyone that's not familiar with how iRacing works, if we get a caution with 5 laps to go, we will not go racing again. So if we have 6 to go or more when the caution comes out, we will indeed go racing again. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see if that's going to be the case here. Will we have that 13th caution, or will we go racing? It's going to be about an 8-lap shootout, maybe even 7 by the time we get the green. So we're going to step away here for the last commercial break of the night, hopefully anyway, and we'll be right back. Are you in the market for a quality new or used car, truck, or SUV? Head on down to Sames Ford in Corpus Christi, Texas, and browse through their inventory today. You won't be disappointed. All right, lights are off on the pace car. We are going racing 7 lap shootout here to the end. Are we out of the woods of the cautions, or will we see another one here in the next lap or two? Again, if we get to the 5 to go and a caution comes out, race is over. Whoever's out front wins the race. That is not the way we want it to end. That's not the way these drivers want it to end either. Green flag back in the air. There it is, 7 laps to go here in this race. If we're going to have a caution, it needs to happen between now and the next lap. We do not want it happening with 5 to go. We'll see, as we got a lot of people. There it is, right there. The 24 gets contact made, goes around 7 to go. We will go racing again. Jeff Stabnow getting just pounded on the side of his car. He goes around. Let's go back and take a look here, as we're going to have to go to the aerial cam to see what happened here tonight in this one, as he gets just smacked in his door, spins him around. Having such a good run here tonight, and it just did not end right there. And actually, it looked like he slid up a little bit. He got the 8, and then the 92 gets into him, and he just gets pummeled from there on. So let's go back and take one more look from this from another angle if we could. And looks like on that angle, the 24 actually slid up. I thought somebody came down on him at first. But we're about to see right here as we're watching from the spotter cam. I believe possibly, yeah, Jeff Stabnow. I think Jeff went up, but then there you see the 8 come back down as well. Such a hard call to make there. So let's see if we can get a different view on this here. We have a few different cameras we can look at. Again, you're watching the 8 and the 24. We're going to see... 24 comes in right here, and you'll see maybe he slides up just a little bit, maybe the 8. I definitely think Jeff was going up. He was arching out of the corner, so I don't think he was in the wrong or anything. He was just coming up for the corner. The 8, they make a little contact, then the 8 comes back down and makes even more contact with Jeff Stabnow, and puts him into the fence. As that is probably going to do it for Jeff Stabnow's night here tonight. As we have 4 to go, we will go racing again here tonight. But again, it looked like maybe the 24 Jeff Stabnow sliding up just a little bit, coming out of the corner, which is exactly what he should be doing. He's arching that corner, coming up out. They touch there a little bit, and then the 8 just comes back down, slides into him again. Quite a bit harder that second hit they made, and that will do it here for Jeff Stabnow. I do not believe he is going to have a faster pace. It looks like he's going to have to tow regardless, and with 4 to go, his night is going to be done. And there it is, 3 laps to go. The lights have to go out next time, and they should. We are going to have what looks to be a 1-lap shootout. Green and white at the same time, followed by the checkered next time by. So it is going to be a 1-lap shootout here to end this race. And fortunately, Chris, I believe you may be right on that one. Chris just this has not been a very good showing, I guess you could say, here for the Northwest Club. This is not the norm here, but it is short track racing, so I give them a little bit of a break. It's so hard to get around these tracks, especially when you put 30 cars on here or more. As there you have it right there, 2 laps to go. This next time by, we will get the green flag with a 1-lap shootout. So at this point, caution will not end this race. 1 to go, the caution cannot come out once the white flag does. So this will determine who brings home the bacon. Is it going to be Jason Berg? Can he hold off the field, or is it going to be somebody else sitting in victory lane after this race? Alright, there you have it, folks. Pace car is off. Green flag is in the air. Jason Berg gets a great start for him. There it is, 1 lap to go, presented by Northwest Racing Series. White flag in the air. Again, I expect to see a pile up here. Here goes the 7. The 13 goes around. Jason Berg still out front. Scott Mann in the second place. Case Hinkins there. But it's not going to matter. Your race winner is going to be the 21 of Jason Berg. And there goes more cars going around. It's going to be Jason Berg, Scott Mann, and Case Hinkins are going to be your top 3 here in the conclusion of this race with a 1-lap shootout at the end. And we forgot to get rid of the VRN logo there, so we apologize for that. But your race winner here tonight is going to be the 21 of Jason Berg, as that will be his second win on the season. He won at Las Vegas. He is going to win again here tonight. But let's go ahead and go through your unofficial race results. Again, these are 100% unofficial, as they very well could change, barring any penalties, anything like that that may be issued. Getting the win here tonight is going to be the 21 of Jason Berg. Second place is going to be the 90 of Scott Mann. Third place is going to be the 20 of Case Hinkins. And fourth place will go to the 32 of Seth Frazier. Fifth place will be the 1 of Caden Anderson, as they're piling it back here in the Destruction Derby. Sixth place will be the 00 of Dylan Huffine. Seventh place will be the 08 of Jesse Gray. And eighth place will be the 8 of Gary Nichols. And ninth place will be the 4 of Brian Barnes. 10th place will be the 63 of Tom Hammond. 11th will be the 45 of Daryl Tidrick. 12th will be the 03 of Daniel Masters. 13th will be the 52 of Brian Lambert. 14th will be the 25 of Jade Williams. 15th will be the 2 of James Thurston. And 16th will go to the 72 of BJ Tidrick. 17th will go to the 10 of Justin McClure. 18th will be the 89 of John Ottenbacher. 19th with the 55 of Dan West Jr. And 20th will go to the 7 of Brett Johnson. 21st will be the 13 of Ryan Maines. 22nd will be the 11 of Frank Harris. 23rd will be the 58 of Stephen Paulson. 24th will be the 46 of Sean Breitzman. 25th will be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. 26th will be the 92 of Casey Tillman. 27th will go to the 88 of Travis Sakuni. And 28th will go to the 73 of Del Winneberg. 29th will go to the 33 of Josh Coley. And rounding out the field here tonight in 30th will be the number 40 of Bruce Weaver. That will do it for your unofficial race results. We will be right back here in just a minute. We're going to go ahead and pull up your top 20 in the finishing order. And we will be right back here as we talk to your top 3 drivers here in the post-race show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after an eventful night, to say the least, and we're about to hear about it, I'm sure, as we have our top 3 drivers here in the booth. And it was a wild ride here tonight. Finishing in third place is going to be the 20 of Case Higgins. If I don't lose my voice here first. First off, we always say congrats on your position, whether it's be first, second, or third, but a huge congrats to all three of you. But right now, of course, Case Hinkins finishing in third. What was it like out on that track? Is it seemed like everybody just had the snowplows on and just wanted to bulldoze through everybody here tonight?
Yeah, first off, I want to apologize to Bryant Lambert. At some point in the race, I misjudged him on old tires and it got into him a little bit, so sorry about that. It's just one of those races where track position was everything. There was too many yellows to really be much racing, so if you're out front, you tended to stay out there, and if you're out back, I don't know what was going on back there. I'll have to reckon.
There definitely was a lot of wrecking going on in the back. Short track racing, I don't really even consider this too short. It is still under miles, technically listed as a short track, but fenders get bent, tempers get flared. Just to talk a little bit here, and we'll talk to each driver about it here. When you come to a track like this where tempers will get flared, how much of this carries over to the next week? Knowing how someone raced you here, and how much of that is going to carry over to, say, next week when we have a little bit bigger of a track?
I can speak for myself. It depends on the circumstances. If somebody gets into me and then talks to me after the race, not much of that carries over. But if they don't, and it was, not a good circumstance, then you definitely remember it. You don't go out of your way to get into anybody, but sometimes you might make it a little harder to pass.
Definitely. It was a crazy night here. Obviously added to a little bit later night for everybody, but in the end, you finished third place, and you held off this field here to get that. It was a crazy, crazy night, but I know you got some shout-outs and sponsors probably, so who would those be for that third place finish here tonight?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone in the league, man. There's a good group of drivers here. I raced this league a couple of years ago, and the talent level wasn't where it's at right now, so a lot of good guys here. Thanks to Jeff Stabnow and Mark Walls and Sean Brightsman and everyone that puts it on. They do a great job.
All right. Well, again, congrats on third place here tonight. And that leads us to our second place finisher here tonight. That, of course, is going to be the 90 of Scott Mann. You won 2 seasons ago in season 1 when we came here. And we were talking to you just a second ago before we went back live. And the question is Vic set? Do you think you had anything for Jason Berg? We know you made the comment about you needed a long frag. You needed a long green flag run here. If we could have got you maybe about 20, 30 laps in a row, you think you could have run him down?
I think I had a good car. Catching somebody and passing them, that's two different things. Berg's got, he always saves a little, but I got to give it up to Case and Seth. How they came through that whole mess with 0 incidents in that whole race is beyond me. But and I got to apologize, like Case said, I got to apologize to Brett Johnson on pit road. I got on his inside and I spun him out on pit road. So sorry, Brett. No, I had a great car. That first pit stop when everybody pitted, I was kind of trying to get off sequence with everybody, but I didn't know there was going to be that many yellows, so it kind of took me a while to get up to Jason. It would have been fun to try and get, like a 10-lap shootout, but I'm sure he was saving a little.
Oh, definitely. It would have been interesting if we could have seen you caught him. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure how much y'all communicated on your tire, but you had currently 35 on that stint compared to his 67 on his. And last time, it looks like you took 4 and he took 2, so it could have been real interesting if y'all two could have got up together, but unfortunately, I believe the pace car led quite a few laps here tonight, and it just didn't work out for you to catch him. But overall, still a good run. Second place, winning last time we were here, so still a podium finish both times, and we know you got some sponsors and shout-outs, so who are those for that second place finish?
I just want to congratulate Jason Berg and then Central Welding Supply. And just thank Jeff Stabnow, Brightsman, and Mark Walls for putting on this series. I'm only doing part-time pretty much the short track, so I'm not in the point, so I could have been aggressively cautious, I should say. So I had fun. It was a good time, and always to you guys. You guys put on a good show. Thank you.
All right. Well, again, congrats on second, and that brings us to the man of the hour, your race winner here, the 21 of Jason Berg, who early in this race had a little help on the track. Who didn't quite know if he was going to get the win afterwards, but you fought your way back to the front, and in the end here, you put it in victory lane. So whether you want to call it karma or whatever, you know, you got a little help there going around on the track, and then you come back to win the thing. So how does it feel to be sitting in victory lane here tonight?
It feels pretty good. I think the real MVP though is Todd Bodine in that pace car. I'm pretty sure, like you said, he led just about every lap tonight. So I'm just happy to lead the only one that matters. But yeah, I don't know what was going on there in the beginning of the race. I was trying to pass the 13 car clean for several laps, and it was definitely running me tight. It probably looked a little worse from my cockpit than it actually was, but regardless, I made a clean pass on him, and he just sent me. So I'm not sure what that was about, but I'm glad that I was able to fight back from it and get the win. Everybody, I don't know what was going on tonight. There's a lot of aggressive driving and just short track racing, I guess. Good job to Scott and Case. It was. I wish we could have battled it out. I was looking forward to that, but it just didn't happen.
Well, definitely didn't happen here tonight. Short track racing at its finest, worst. I don't know what you want to call it. But
I would say that was short track racing at its worst. But I mean, it happened.
It does indeed happen. As we said earlier, this is not the norm here for Northwest. So anyone out there watching, do not expect this next week. Usually this does not happen, but. It was really a roller coaster for everyone. Everyone was getting beaten and banging there a little bit, more like a pinball machine out here for each of these cars. But there's really no words to describe it except for that. It was a roller coaster out there, but we know you got some sponsors on that car. So who are those for that win here tonight?
The main sponsor, G-Force Aerial Media. They're on the iRacing cars always, and they're the ones that are helping me out with the Apple Cup this coming weekend on the late models. So definitely got to thank them. Check them out, gforceaerialmedia.com. As always, you, Charles, VRN, do a great job, and I always go back and watch them. It's a lot of fun to see how the race played out from your guys' point of view. And then Sean, Jeff, and Mark for putting the league on.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the win here. And, of course, congrats to everyone in the top three and everyone else here tonight. That will do it here for tonight's racing action. Of course, one last piece of business to take care of, and that is your sponsors for the racing action here tonight. This race is brought to you by Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. Check them out at wallsbeardco.com. And of course, on the broadcast side of things, the following partners make this all possible: Northwest Racing Series, Walls Beard Co., Race on Texas, Hanover Wrecker Service, On the Edge Motorsports, Huffman Designs, and Race Core. Big shout out for all of them coming on board here for 2019. We'll see you next Monday night with more great racing.